Hi there, this is Niki Rowland designing for Freckled Fawn, and today I'm designing a layout using the July embellishment kit. This layout was completely inspired by the resin hearts that are in this month's kit. They are a two-tone, and I also had this paper, it's by Chamel, that also had similar two-tone hearts in it. So I decided to fussy cut some of those out and arrange those onto my layout to form the basis of my layout. At this point, I wasn't sure if I was going to use the red hearts, so I tried to avoid cutting out or fussy cutting out the hearts from the paper that had too much red in them. I went for pinks and yellows and green and blues, but didn't do too many reds. I at this point did decide that I have got red hearts in the kit, so maybe I should cut out a red heart from the paper, but in the end I'm not sure whether I actually used it. So yeah, trying to stick with the other colours in the kit rather than the reds. Now that these are all fussy cut, I'm just trying to arrange them in a way that I'm happy with on my layout. You'll see I've tried several different arrangements and just didn't get there really. I wasn't too happy with the way that it looked. So I've added a photo as of my little boy. Hearts go very well because I love him. But I wasn't too sure if this was going to be too girly for that photo. I was nearly happy with this arrangement, so I decided that I needed a few extra hearts, so I pulled out a couple more from that paper and fussy cut those out as well. So I think one of the problems with this layout and why I'm not liking it too much is because it needs something around the edge. So I'm deciding on a background there to give some colour around the edge, and I'm trimming my cardstock smaller than I would normally trim. I'd normally go down to 11.5 inches square and have a very small border around the edge, but on this occasion I've gone a bit smaller than that, so I've kept the full height of the white card, but have made it narrower so that I have a large border on one side and a smaller border on the other side. And now I'm just going to get all of those hearts stuck in place. I've folded up the edges of the hearts so that they look like they're flying. I would do that with butterflies normally, but hearts, it works just as well. So yeah, just getting all of those stuck in place. My intention is to stitch through the middle of them with my sewing machine. I have a new Stitch Happy We Are Memory Keeper sewing machine, so excited to use that. There you go, all of my stitching is now complete, and I'm totally not happy with the photo that's on that layout. You can see that I didn't use any of the red hearts at this time. I've still got to put the resin hearts back onto the layout, but I've decided to take off that photo with my little boy and go for a silly photo of me and my daughter together using one of those Snapchat filters. The colours just seem to work so much better, and I'm instantly happier with the layout with that photo. And I've decided to change my background as well, so instead of that black spotty paper, I've going for this one with blobs of colour all over it. The colours are quite similar to the colours of the hearts that I've got already on the layout, and the whole layout is just lifted by using those bright colours. I'm much happier with that background behind it and that different photo than I was when it was the original photo and the dark background. It also means that I can use the title together, which is on one of the chipboard sheets that came on the chipboard sheet that came in the July kit. So I've put that up on the top right, and I'm just adding some washi tape, that gorgeous yellow washi tape with all those funny phrases on the bottom left and a little bit top right as well, and that brings my layout all together really nicely. I've mounted my photo on some vellum with some gold hearts and some another small piece of turquoise paper, and I've added in my resin hearts, you can see there. Now I'm pulling off all of the heart stickers from that glittery sticker sheet, whether they're white or the turquoise glitter. I love them both, and I'm just arranging those onto the layout so I have a layout completely full of hearts. You can see I also used the heart wooden paper clip as well, again, it was a heart shape and just went perfectly. I'm totally in love with those wooden paper clips, by the way. They're awesome. So yeah, I've just got that poking out of the top of my photo. It goes really well with the rest of the layout. I just like to secure those in place with a little bit of glossy accents. All of those resin hearts also I'm sticking down with glossy accents to make sure that they don't move. And I've got a little rubber phrase down the bottom right there as well. All of those little letter stickers, they're from the chipboard sheet. I get really frustrated when my titles fall off when my layouts are in their page protectors. So even though Freckled Fawn chipboard is pretty sticky, just by the very nature of chipboard, it's quite hard and doesn't bend very well, doesn't flex. So therefore they have a habit of pinging off sometimes. So I just stuck all of those in place with glossy accents. Here I am just adding in some labels from the labels sticker sheet and seeing if there's anything else I can get onto the layout from the chipboard sheets and from the rubber phrases. I tried to get that red rubber phrase in many times and I just couldn't make it work on this layout. It just didn't work wherever I put it. So kept going back to it, but eventually I decided against it. And finally, I'm going to add some little subtitles using those gorgeous vellum alphabets. I've just picked out 3 different words that go with this silly, silly photo and just popping those in wherever I've got a little gap. And that's it. I'm going to call that layout done at this point. Thank you so much for watching. That was Niki Rowland for Freckled Fawn.